So today I'm going to do a drawing and talk about exaggeration. How some artists exaggerate characters to make them look more in the whimsical fantasy instead of realistic. And in order for you to make it that way, obviously you have to exaggerate. Sort of cartoony. So I'm going to draw like an ogre head. Ogre head right here. And I'm trying to imagine the shape of his head. And exaggeration. It was like a parrot. And maybe he's yelling or something, screaming. So we have the mouth. Huge mouth, it's tilted to give it some excitement. And this will probably evolve, obviously. So this is the mouth, the bottom lip here. And then we're going to decide where we want the nose. Maybe we can put the nose here, somewhere. I just draw a circle for the nose. And then the eyes, maybe around here. One could be open, like that. The other one could be more closed. So we give it some exaggeration. Then we have to decide what kind of nose. Maybe give it a little stubby nose. These are the nostrils. Shade those in. And his nostrils are flaring, because obviously it looks like he's screaming or yelling something. This is the detail that comes off the nostrils. And he's going to have big teeth. Of course, this is an ogre, so he's not going to have beautiful teeth. You can have his mouth open even more. Let's open his mouth some more. So this is how open I had it earlier. I'm just going to leave the line there so you can see it. Then I'm going to put some teeth. These teeth here are usually more square. And it goes into perspective. You could see some molars over here. Those are square. And of course we're going to see his tongue. And the tongue has a point. And there's a part in the middle. And this is the shadow underneath the tongue. And maybe you would see his, what do you call that goofy thing back there? I forget what that's called. It'll eventually come to me. I can make it bigger actually. Let's make it bigger. Feels like his throat's a little closed there. Adam's apple? No, that's not Adam's apple. We draw it on the tilt. Shade that in. And see, this is already coming out sort of cartoony because we exaggerated the mouth and whatnot. And it's going to have a stretched lip. bottom lip. I still have to draw the details, the gums and things like that. But I'm trying to nail down the look for now. Oops. Side of the head. And of course these guys have cheekbones. Of course it's at an angle because everything's at an angle. Maybe this is too far out. I don't use a mirror for this, so some artists use mirrors to try to get everything symmetrical. I don't like doing that because nobody's face is symmetrical. It would look too perfect anyways. And then we can decide a big chin. This guy's muscle jaws, so muscles on his jaws. Maybe this comes in a little more. He has a funny looking chin, a little bump there. So we can see how this is coming along. Actually, it might even look almost like an Incredible Hulk, but I'm not drawing him. And this would be stretched out here. And you're not going to see much of a curve on the upper lip. It'll be stretched out. I'm just refining some of the lines. And I said he was an ogre, so I can give him some ogre ears. I guess they're coming all different shapes, sizes. Like so. It's got some beefy ears. Usually there's a little detail here. I'll bring it out. It goes like that. Almost like human ears. I'm not sure if I like that. Let's get rid of that. Obviously this guy's not human anyways. Let's just give him that. Like so. And then his ear hole. Of course ears have this interesting anatomy of they're not bones but cartilage that helps to attract sound, catch sound. I don't even know what you call it, but it's one ear. Go to the other ear. And do the opposite what we did here. Like this. Right there. And usually these parts have little other facets in them. Like this may be sort of flattish, and you show that by your shading, and this would be deeper in there, so you make it darker. So you accentuate whatever you want to be further in or closer to us. And of course I always do little details on the ears, just because it's fun. And they're ogres, you know, they don't have pretty ears. Then do the opposite here, like that. And maybe this is a little shadow here. Like so. And we can decide, I'm going to give him a little bumpy head. sure. And this is high, so I'm gonna put that high. This is not as high. Let's give him a lumpy head because he's ugly, anyways. And he's got his eye peeled. You can still add some reality to the eyes. You know, like the corners of the eyes. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the cartoony with some cool real stuff. Of course, this would be more of a, you see more of a bag here, because this one's stretched out. And then there's his eye. You can shade this in a little bit. The edges. Usually around the edges of the eye, it's a little shaded because the eye is inside the eyeball inside the eyelid. So this is what I'm talking about. You add a little reality, and it just looks cool. And then you can have some veins. Go back to this eye because it's not as white as this one. Shade that in. And then this usually goes in. And there's a ridge there. The ridge of the nose. Got some lighting, and then we give it some roundness. Then we can darken these nostrils in. This usually comes to a point. Shade that down there. This would be probably wide because he's spreading his mouth pretty wide. Back to this, making those corners there. I tend to jump around when I do my drawing. Most artists do. They go here to there to there. There's no one method. And then we'll make the other eye here. Of course, this eye will be darker because it's more closed. There we go. Give him some hairs. Maybe some hairs on his ears. And then we're gonna darken the mouth. I'm not gonna give an upper lip because it's sort of disappeared. I will put some little cracks. I just like doing that. Put some cracks on that, and then let's see about these teeth on the top. Maybe you can see some of the gums here. Gums. that. And they'll probably be in shadow because the teeth are usually lighter color than the gums. Then we can give the teeth some shape, make some thickness. Maybe that was in shadow because it's hiding in there somewhere. We can zoom in a little bit. I'll just move this down to get a better picture of it. Okay, now the inside of the mouth is going to be the darkest part, especially this part back here where this throat is. So I'm only using let's see, H. Using H lead, so it only gets so dark. I'm doing this on purpose so you can see how you can get depth. I probably would use an HB or a B for this because I'll make that really, really dark. Next, I'll shade this part in. It has to be a little darker than the gums. I'll go the other direction with cross hatching here. And this is just a lot of cross hatching, which I like to do. And I could just define this some more. Press it a little harder. If I rip the paper, I'm just trying to define it some more. And I'll have to define the gums. Just making the line a little darker. And we'll continue doing the teeth back here. The gums, not the gums, the other teeth back here. And this is darker in the corners of the mouth. It's less light going in there. Come back to over here. Make that darker. And shade the underside of the tongue. But before I do that, let's draw some gums. And these are sort of square, these teeth back here. Think of I don't know, square marshmallows. And then usually at the top of the tooth has those little details. Darken this part to there. But all this shading is what, you know, brings it alive. And I can just shade this up like that. Go back to this teeth back here. And these would probably be in shadow, the teeth in the very back. So what I'm going to do is just shade over that lightly. because you don't want to lose the detail. You still want to see some detail. We continue shading the tongue area. And then underneath the tongue you have some details. You have veins and things like that. Weird stuff going on down there. And we can focus on the tip of the tongue here. This is the shadow. And then of course we'll have some darkness back here. Because it's dark back there in the back of the throat. Look back, looks alright. We can you know, you don't have to do these little details of the tongue, but I think it's neat. We can do that, might as well. A little fun. Some taste buds back there. Back to the bottom lip. So now I'm just going to shading now. But you get my point about exaggeration. I could have made the jaw even bigger, but I think too much exaggeration gets too silly. Okay, then you want to bring out the facets of the face structure with shadowing. The shadow tells the viewer where the high parts are, the low parts. Like so. And then here, in this furrow, get some shade. He's ugly. Okay. He's one ugly boy. And then this could have, because it's rounded, this here will shade up. Like so. I'm gonna leave this white right there. And this would probably be more in shadow back here. These jowls. You leave some highlight there. You want to vary it. You don't want to copy the same on this side as that side. Be creative with your shading. And you can shade the chin here. And he's got some puck marks or something on his chin. And he just put some dots and things like that. And there you have an exaggerated ogre face. Then you can do the neck. I mean, he doesn't have much of a neck. He's like a big boy. His neck's hidden. He's such a big head, you can't see his neck. But he's got the shoulder area. Okay, I'm not gonna draw his whole body out, obviously. I'm just gonna show you what you can do with it. And then over here will be his chest. Down there. And this will be more in shadow. Grab real quick. And he's got hairs on his back. Anyways, you get the picture. Hope you enjoyed this video on exaggerating faces and how to make it look cartoony yet still have a touch of realism. The realism is in the little details. Like I said, like the corners of the eyes and the nostrils. So it's sort of a good balance, I think, of whimsical fantasy with a touch of realism. Try that, see how it comes out. Exaggerate your faces, and then focus on the cute little details of the face and see how it comes out. Well, thank you for watching. This was really cool.